Let's start with basic lettering. There are three ways to add lettering to a design. Select Lettering from the Tools menu, press the 5 key on the keyboard, or click on the lettering icon. In the work area, click where the lettering is to be placed. A text window will appear. There are 9 basic steps to embroidering letters. The first step is to enter the text. Click in the text box and type in the lettering. Step 2 is to choose the font. Right under the Settings tab is the name of the active font. Click on the down arrow and choose from 250 fonts. As you select a font, the font style will be displayed in the window. Step 3 is choose the baseline. This is the boundary line the text follows using the bottom base of each letter. Straight places the text along a straight horizontal line. Arced places the text on a curve. To have the text follow the curve, place a check mark in the Follow baseline. Otherwise, it will be at a 90-degree angle. The radius of the arc is determined by the value placed in the arced radius box. The higher the number, the flatter the arc. To change the direction of the arc from top to bottom, place a check mark in Bottom Arc. Bridge automatically keeps top of the characters uniform but places the bottom of the characters along a bridge. Under the bridge percentage, enter a value. With the higher the number, the greater the effect. Check Top Bridge to change directions. The last effect for baseline is Bezier, which creates a curved line. Click and drag one of the circles under the text to move them. Step 4. Enter the character size. This is the height of the character based on its cap letter. Click on the down arrow to select the size, or highlight the number and enter a value. The number shown here is the size the letter was digitized. Try to keep the value within a 20% range, either higher or lower. Step 5 is character spacing. This is the space between each character. When kerning is checked, the space is between the closest point connection, otherwise the space is between an imaginary rectangle that would enclose each character. By increasing the value, there's more space between the letters. By decreasing the value, they are closer together. Steps 6 through 9 can all be found under the Stitches tab. Step 6, set the density. This determines how many rows of stitches should be filled in. The higher the number, the more dense the lettering. Use the General Density Guideline in your manual and Forte workbook to set the proper density value. Step 7, set the stitch length. This is the length of the running stitch used in the underlay. If the setting is too large, the underlay stitching will protrude from the letters. Again, use the General Density Guideline in your manual and Forte workbook to set the stitch length, depending on the size of your lettering. Step 8 is set Lock, Stitch, and Trim. A check mark indicates it is active. Choose from adding a lock stitch and trim between each letter, word, or line. Step 9, add or adjust underlay. When checked, it automatically generates underlay for the text. Choose from 3 types of underlay. Center walk, which places a running stitch in the center of the column. Edge walk, which places a running stitch on both inside edges of the column, and narrow column, which is a satin stitch placed down first that is narrower than the column stitched for the letters. You could choose one, two, or all three types of underlay.